Cyn Doll here, coming at you with another video, and I'm going to tackle 9 natural hair myths that you need to stop believing in. And if you stick around to the end, I may have a little bonus because they're actually way more than 9. Let's get into it. Alright, before we get it crack-a-lackin', make sure you go ahead and subscribe here to my channel. And once you subscribe, be sure to click on that bell notification so you're notified every single time I post another video. And number 1, black women's scalp does not create oil. Every human being walking the face of this earth, actually, even not humans, like animals, have sweat glands and sebaceous glands under the skin. For example, there's someone that is Asian. If they don't wash their hair for long periods of time, lice comes. Why does lice come? Well, lice are attracted to sebum. They will lay their eggs on top of hair strands that are infested or have an overproduction of sebum, because the sebum is that magnificent. Once again, everything that I am saying can be proven scientifically. Go ahead and type it in right now. There go the word right there, sebum, sebaceous gland, and you will see that every woman, even black women, have a sebaceous gland in the scalp that produces sebum. Dirt makes our hair grow. We just got confused. Way back when YouTube first came around, most of the time if you ask a woman who has really long hair, you do, and she'll say,
I don't do anything.
I just wash it and blow dry it or whatever, boom, and that's it. There is no space between the skin on your scalp and the skin on your face. So the same pores and follicles that you have on your face, you have on your scalp. So what would happen to your skin, the skin that is on your face, if you didn't wash your face for 5 or 6 months? Your follicles and your pores will become clogged and you will get bumps on your face. Well, guess what? Over a long period of time with you not washing your hair, your follicles begin to get clogged. And after long periods of time, and when I say long periods of time, I don't mean a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Remember, we're in instant gratification, but our body, sometimes it takes years for different things to show up. So while we are packing the follicle, what you are doing is cutting off oxygen flow, and when oxygen flow is cut off, the rate in which your hair can complete its natural hair growth cycle is greatly decreased. So dirt does not make your hair grow. It simply slows down your natural hair growth cycle. Wash your hair like you wash your butt, okay? Well, not every day, but you got a routine to wash your butt, so have a routine to wash your hair. Number 3, aloe. People are so in love with aloe, and let me explain. I am a cosmetologist and herbalist. I am in love with aloe as well. But even though aloe has amazing properties, again, people watch YouTube videos and took those YouTube videos way out of context without doing the research for themselves. Yes, aloe has amazing properties, but aloe vera should never be left in the hair. A lot of people are using aloe vera as a leave-in conditioner and then wondering why over time their hair strands get weaker and weaker. No matter what you do, your hair keeps snapping, and this is because you are giving yourself major protein overload. Aloe is a protein. Aloe vera is made of the same exact amino acids that make up the proteins that live within your body. So the same amino acids that get together to make your skin, to make your bones, and all of the different proteins within your body live within aloe. You burn yourself, or if you get a scar, it helps with cell regeneration. It helps you to heal scars. Why is that? It is because aloe vera is a protein made of the same amino acids in the body. So when you place it on a burn, it helps to rebuild your skin cells because your skin is made of the same amino acids. Aloe is a protein that should never be left in the hair. If you are going to use aloe, you should only be using it if you have high porosity hair. If you have low porosity hair, you should never use aloe vera in the hair because it is a protein. The next question is going to be, okay, what if products have aloe vera in it? Please understand that there is a difference between the aloe vera that lives within a product and the aloe vera that you are getting from the Walmart. Okay. A chemist knows how to extract the properties of aloe. So when something says it has aloe vera in it, it doesn't mean that they use like the actual slime. They can extract properties of aloe vera by drying the aloe vera leaf and then grinding it up into a powder, putting about 3 or 4 tablespoons in it, and then boom, there is aloe vera present on the label. Number 4, I don't even really have time for it. I'm gonna be so honest, like I don't even want to do number 4 because I feel like all the braiders gonna come out like, she don't know what she talking about, she don't know what she talking about, she been hate her. This is the thing, I love you, I do. Science is science, facts are facts. When you look at the ingredients of edge control, the edge control has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to block the follicles and hold your hair in place. If you are constantly getting braided styles that require you to have every part of your head blocked with edge control on a regular basis, it's just not a thing.
It's just not a thing.
I know that a lot of braiders are gonna feel a way about this, but all I'm gonna say is this. In my one-on-one consultations with my clients, one of the main and leading causes of their breakage is different braids and different styles that they would constantly do without the proper maintenance, blocking the follicles. One has anywhere from 100,000 to 400,000 strands within the follicle, 1 to 4 strands per follicle. So if you have your follicles blocked with heavy edge control on a regular basis and that's your go-to, then eventually the follicles will suffocate. It's fact. If you are walking around and your air supply is reduced to about 15% on a daily basis, eventually your lungs will go out because your body will not get the proper oxygen flow. Well, guess what? Your follicles are no different from the rest of your body. So putting on edge control and packing it on day after day after day, month after month after month will eventually damage the follicle and cause follicle death, which in return gives different forms of alopecia. Don't be mad at me, just look at the ingredient list and then you ask yourself if whether or not all of those things that block the follicle should go on your follicle all the time. Next, we have combing your hair wet versus dry. I'm not asking what's easier for you, I'm asking what is best for your hair. Is it best to comb your hair wet or dry? The answer is dry. Our hair is made up of 3 different bonds: a hydrogen bond, a salt bond, and a disulfide bond. And a hydrogen bond is with H2O, you know what I'm saying? One hydrogen bond meets another hydrogen bond, they like to dance. So whenever the hydrogen bond in your hair meets the hydrogen bond in the water, they break and your hair becomes weaker. You get the illusion that, oh, there is more elasticity. The elasticity that your hair has when it is wet is the elasticity that your hair has when it is closer to breaking. And the elasticity that your hair has when it is dry is way farther from breaking. So the no product challenge. Now, don't get mad at me, but I just feel like we go from one extreme to the next. So 1 minute we doing one method that we're gonna get to in a second, and then right after that everybody like, oh no, forget that, everything that we said, throw all the products away, don't use nothing. That's not true either. You know why? Just like when you get out of the shower you put on lotion, just like right before you brush your teeth you put toothpaste on your toothbrush, just like right before you put on your pants you put on some drawers. 2 different forms of heat protectant. You have a heat protectant for environmental heat and the blow dryer, and then you have a heat protectant that is specifically for hot tools. So the type that is in the spray bottle, that is specifically for hot tools. But a leave-in conditioner also acts as a heat protectant, but your leave-in conditioner is protecting you from environmental damage, from sun rays, from the blow dryer, from any different wear and tear that you're gonna have on your hair until you see your stylist for the next time, or until you do your hair for the next time. So the whole myth of you don't need a leave-in conditioner and don't put these products on your hair is not a good thing. especially if you're a person who has a low sebum level. If you need more information on that, check this video. But so if you are a person who has a low sebum level, inside of my free group, you should join it so you can, you know, get stuff popping. Sometimes we have free challenges that show you exactly how to regulate your sebum levels. Once the sebum starts coming down the hair shaft and your hair is curly, even if you're wearing your hair stretched or anything like that, if you're wearing your hair in its natural state, sometimes your hair does need a little bit of help. This is where non-comedogenic oils come into play. Non-comedogenic simply means that it's an oil that does not block the scalp or the follicle. And this is where oil pulling comes from. Remember, all of the different things that are viral on YouTube first came from a dermatologist, trichologist, or cosmetologist. Oil pulling is something that you do not on the scalp, but mid-shaft, because by the time you're halfway through, you know, the time where your next wash day is coming, if you're doing everything right, your hair's natural sebum is almost halfway down the hair shaft, but our hair shafts are a little thicker and sometimes the curls, you know, are a little tighter or whatever, so it's a little harder for the sebum to get down the hair shaft. So this is where an oil like hemp seed oil could be placed mid shaft, so you can join that hemp seed oil with the natural sebum that is coming down the hair shaft. And this leads me to our next myth. Not combing your hair helps your hair grow. Well, like we just talked about, if your sebum level is high or if your sebum level is regulated, you have natural sebum coming down the hair shaft that is going to help you retain length and make sure that your hair is staying on balance to create its natural hair growth cycle, giving you at least an inch of hair growth every single month. If you are not combing your hair for days and weeks at a time, you are actually slowing that entire cycle down. The average person loses about 100 strands of hair a day. For some people it could be a little less, and for some it could be a little more. If you multiply 100 strands a day times 2 weeks and then think of not combing your hair, it makes sense why it's extremely hard for you to get through your wash day. A LOC method. I know that you guys are gonna get mad at me for this, and I know some people are gonna be like, oh, women in these parts of the world did the LOC method, and women in these parts of the world did the LOC method. Once your skin has absorbed enough moisture, the remaining lotion or moisturizer just sits on the skin and you have to wipe it off. Well, guess what? The same exact thing happens for the hair shaft. And when you layer the hair shaft after product, the hair shaft cannot breathe and it cannot release high porosity hair, which I have, is the cuticle that is wide open, and it's really hard to hold moisture because the cuticle is open. And then with low porosity hair, it's very hard for the hair to receive moisture because it's always closed, and the hair gets weighed down with product very fast because it holds on to all of the moisture that it receives, right? But then we have normal porosity hair. Normal porosity hair is a perfect flow, a perfect even flow. The follicle is not too tight and it's not too open, it is loose. That's how they explain it. A loose cuticle that allows moisture to go in and it allows moisture to go out. That's why you'll notice that there's one group of women that's like, oh my God, no matter what I do, my hair is dry. And then you have another group of women that's like, oh my God, no matter what I do, my hair is so oily. And then you have another group of women that's like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, my hair be straight. Women who don't know what's wrong with y'all are the women with normal porosity hair, because the body is not naturally meant to be locked down. It's not meant to be blocked. So if you're not gonna lock the pores on your face and the pores and the follicles anywhere else, why do you think that locking the hair's cuticle will give you any type of good result or any type of good result? The biggest hair myth that I think leads everyone into so much misfortune with their hair is everyone believing that the hair shaft is dead. Your hair is not dead. There are 3 layers to the hair shaft: the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla. The reason that people think that the hair shaft is dead is because when the hair shaft leaves out of the follicle, when your hair pierces the skin and comes through the skin, the nerves die. The nerves that send a signal from your hair shaft to your brain to say, ow, that hurts. Just like if this wall was hot, the same nerve that would send a signal to my brain and say, ooh girl, don't touch that, that's hot, to let me know to back up. That same nerve, well, not the same one, but that nerve dies as soon as the hair shaft pokes out through the follicle. It dies. Why? Because if it didn't die, getting a haircut would be excruciating pain, but the hair shaft is still extremely alive. The second layer is the cortex, and the cortex of your hair shaft is the place where all of your melanin lives and all of the serious stuff. So the hair shaft is not dead. That is the biggest myth in hair care.